Hi everyone, it's Vicky here from Crafty Heaven and thank you very much for joining me today. Today I'm going to be showing you how we made these ribbon savers, and this is to stop your ribbon from unraveling. This is not my original idea. I actually got this off a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'll leave the link for her YouTube channel down below. But I've done mine slightly different because she did hers where it was measurements for the spool for each one, and I just found that a bit too tricky for me personally. You might find it easier, but I wanted to do it so it's simple for my brain. So I've just basically winged it, and all I did was just added tick marks and then scored it and just folded it up like that instead of trying to work out the measurements. So here we have this 3/4 of an inch ribbon spool, but it has a 1/4 of an inch ribbon, and the idea is you have it on your shelf or in your box, and when you take it out or off your shelf you can just pull the amount of ribbon you want off, and then when you've finished you can just bring that round and it wraps your ribbon back up. Now I would suggest that you leave a little bit hanging out because obviously gravity will take that ribbon back out. So we've got a 3/4 of an inch ribbon spool, we have a 1/2 inch ribbon spool here, and this ribbon is the 3/8 of an inch, okay, and then we have a 1/4 of an inch ribbon here. So I'm going to show you how I did it. Like I said, really simple and not much measurements involved, and yeah, I hope that you enjoy the tutorial. So I'm using some hole punches. So I have this one here with this slit, and I got this off Timo. You could probably get it off Amazon. And then I've got my crocodile, which has the 1/8 of an inch and 1/4 of an inch hole punch. All we're going to do is measure the width of the ribbon spool, okay, and then we can think about the size for the ribbon hole that this will go through. So for this one here, I know that I've got quite a lot of ribbon spools that are 3/4 or 1/4 of an inch or 1/2 inch or 5/8 and so on, okay, and I just measured my ribbon spool. So this one measures 3/4, so I cut strips that were just over 3/4 of an inch, so that way this will allow room for this to move nicely, okay. So you'll cut strips of card that are just over 3/4 of an inch, and I got some A4 cardstock, so let me grab some here, and I cut along the short side, and then I did strips of just over 3/4, or if you've got some that are 1/4 of an inch, cut strips of just over 1/4 of an inch, or just over 1/2 an inch, or just over 5/8 and so on, but leave the length as it is for the minute, okay. This one here that I cut just over 1/4 of an inch, and all I did was I placed my card on here. Now this first section is going to be stuck underneath here, okay, so I placed that on there. I got a pencil and I just tick marked where that ribbon spool ends. I got my scoreboard and I lined up my card and just placed those tick marks in a track on my scoreboard and just scored on those tick marks, and then I fold that over. So now this will go here, and then that will fold over like so, and again get a pencil and we're going to just tick mark there, place that in a track and score, fold that over. So now that will go on the back and that will go over the top. We're going to bring it round, and I'm going to lay that on there, and again just tick mark where that hole starts. Line that up in your scoreboard and add a score line. Fold that around. Bring that through the hole like so, and you can see that folds over nicely. Make sure you hold all that in place and then tick mark on there. Come back to where we started, and then we can trim off the excess like so. And then you will have another piece to make another 1/4 of an inch ribbon saver. Okay, these pencil markings here, so you can see what I'm doing. So you can see we've got this larger rectangle here, a small rectangle, a large one, small, and then a medium-sized one. We're going to add a hole on this one here. Get my 1/4 of an inch hole punch on my crocodile, and I'm going to place a hole in the center like so. It's easier to thread the ribbon through first, so I'm going to place that through. Bring my finger on this one, wrap that around. So I'm going to add some glue just there, wrap that around. Again, making sure I'm not gluing that too tight because I want it to be able to move. And that's the same procedure for all of them. So you can see gravity's wanting to pull that out, so we need to make sure that we leave a bit hanging out like so. So there we go. So that is the same procedure for all of them. This was helpful and you give it a go. I will also link the original tutorial that I got this idea from down below. And if you enjoyed this video, then please give me a big thumbs up. Please continue to support my channel by hitting that subscribe button. Till next time guys, take care. Bye.